I had to get the screen recording right. What's good, y'all, bro? Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. It is October 31st, which means it is Halloween. Spooky, spooky. So with that being said, we gotta watch some spooky, spooky videos, bro. We gotta watch some spooky, spooky videos. I'm gonna try to do a couple today, but this most likely will be the only one, man. Sorry for those spooky, spooky videos, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't had no motivation to record anything this month, really, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't really had no motivation. I had to force out videos this month. Um, and yeah, but I am trying something new. Y'all probably won't see the difference, but I am trying something new with with the video and everything, with these videos. So hopefully, yeah, again, y'all won't know the difference. If it works, y'all shouldn't know the difference. But if it doesn't, then you'll never see this video. But we're gonna check out Mr. Nightmare, the homie Mr. Nightmare. Everybody loves Mr. Nightmare, man. 5 disturbing true Home Alone stories. So we're about to see what's gonna happen to these people, man. If they got cooked up, goofed up, to these people home alone. And yeah, man, it's 22 minutes. We're gonna be here for a while. So grab your snacks, man. Grab your Halloween candy, bro. This is the only thing I have right now. Grab your Halloween candy. Grab your drink. Grab your drink. And yeah, let's get right into this video, man. Y'all ready? Because I'm ready. What happened to these people when they was all home alone? Let's go. Also got some headphones. Story 1.
I'm 30 years old, and I share a house with my sister. It's a 2-floor house, a mother-daughter house, meaning it has 2 kitchens. My sister takes the downstairs, I take the upstairs. My sister isn't home a lot because she often stays with her boyfriend who lives 20 miles away. Like I said, I'm 30. I shouldn't let being home alone ever freak me out. But, admittedly, sometimes it does.
You already lost me. You already lost me. Nigga. You're 30. Calm it down, bruh. Yo, calm it down, bro. You're 30. And you scared of it. I ain't gonna lie. Being home alone is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Being home alone, no matter how old you is kind of crazy. It's kind of spooky or scary, whatever, man. So, I don't blame you. You know what? I'll let you have this one, buddy.
This happened on a night that I was home alone in my living room watching a scary movie. My part of the house is an open layout, so the living room, dining room, and kitchen are all one big space. My couch is in the middle of the space, so as I watch TV on the couch, my back is to a large part of the room behind me. So for those a little more easily spooked, it wouldn't be the most comfortable place to be sitting alone watching a scary movie. I'll admit, as I watched in the dark room with nothing but the light from the TV to cancel the darkness of the room, I found myself glancing over my shoulder a lot. I like to think I'm not the only 30-year-old male that does that. But anyway, after the movie, I brushed my teeth, turned off all the lights in the house, then went to sleep. My sleep lasted for about 2 hours. I woke up around 1 a.m., and I wasn't sure why I woke up at first. Then I heard a voice downstairs. It sounded like my sister. It sounded like she was inside the house, so it's not like she was calling for me to open the door. But still, I knew it was my sister's voice. I didn't know what she was yelling up to me though, but I was still groggy and not thinking straight. All I could think was that she must have been calling for me, or arguing with her boyfriend. So I got out of bed and went into the pitch black hall. I turned on the hallway lights and then made my way through the living room and heard my sister's voice again from downstairs. Now I could understand her to be saying my name. I made my way downstairs in the dark, yelling back at her, "What is it?" I looked for the light switch in the foyer downstairs, but couldn't find it. I'm not lying when I say I was groggy as hell. I walked down her little hallway towards her kitchen, find a light switch, and flick it on. The light in the kitchen lights up her little apartment, including her living room. The light starts off dim and needs time to brighten up, but I still saw that there was no one down there. Not her, not her boyfriend. I went to her bedroom, but it was empty. I called her name really loudly one time. No one called back. But shortly after I yelled, I heard something drop to the floor in my sister's bedroom. which I had just checked and it was empty. I went back up the stairs like a little kid and went back to my bed to where my phone was. I tried to call her a few times, but she didn't pick up. I had myself locked in my room, wondering if I had just hallucinated all of that. Eventually, I fell asleep, and in the morning, I woke up to text from my sister asking why I called her at 1 a.m. I asked her if she was home last night, and she told me no, she was currently staying at her boyfriend's house. I went downstairs to her bedroom to see what may have fallen down on the floor, but there was not a single object on the floor that could have made that noise. I'm led to believe I hallucinated everything I heard that night, but that's what I want to believe, because the alternative would be much more horrific. But I've never really hallucinated anything else, or had any kind of sleep disorders, so how vividly I heard my sister's voice, and that sound in her room, really freaks me out.
I understand. I ain't gonna lie, bruh. I was either your sister was home and she was lying to you, trying to get you a little spooked, or there was somebody else in your house. I ain't gonna hold you. Or there was a ghost. Maybe there was a ghost. Maybe there was a ghost. I don't know why there's this ad right here, bro. Why? Come on, dog. Get out of here, man. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. That wasn't really that spooky. I ain't gonna hold you. That really wasn't that spooky, man. That's gonna give me a 3 on the spook scale, bro. That's gonna be on the book. It's gonna be a 3 on the spook scale, man. Let's get into the second one, bro. It's called Van Van.
I was left home alone a lot as a kid, just due to the fact that my mom was single for a good chunk of my upbringing, and she worked as an RN on a crappy RN schedule, and my brother went away to college. This was a night that my mom was working an overnight. It was a weekend night, so I had this girl Molly over who I was talking to, and she hung out for a while.
Okay.
We watched a couple movies and whatnot, and eventually she had to go home because her parents don't like her out late.
And whatnot. Come on now. Watched a couple movies and whatnot. What's that whatnot, huh? Come on, dog. Hey, give me some, man. Anyways.
I was left alone to hold down the fort. I continued to watch TV in my room and bed. My bedroom is upstairs next to the backyard, so when someone dragged one of the chairs on the deck outside, I heard it. I got up and looked out the window, and I saw someone sitting on one of the deck chairs down below. I called Molly's name thinking it was her. After all, she'd only left.
Man, if you don't get up on off my porch, bro, who do you think you are over here getting on my porch and sitting in my good chair? Man, if you don't get up on out of here, bro.
Done 10 minutes ago.
There
Whoever
we
it
go.
was looked up at me, but it wasn't Molly. I immediately pulled away from the window to hide. That was not anybody I recognized. Not in the darkness, at least. I texted a few close friends in our group chat if it was one of them messing with me. The ones who answered all said no, and asked what I was talking about. I didn't really believe any of my friends would come to my house to mess with me like that anyway. Scared shitless, but still curious, I slowly walked back over to the window to look down again, and that person was still sitting in the chair, looking up at my window. It was a he, that much was clear, and he definitely saw me. I heard.
Bro, what you doing at that point, bro? You either call somebody, or depending on what state you in, get the GG'er. I'm gonna call it the GG'er, bro. Get the GG'er and take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Away from the window again to turn off the
That's
TV.
the only 2 options
I
there.
sat in my bed in a ball basically, with my arms wrapped around my knees. I waited in darkness for a while. I didn't even want to turn my phone screen on because I was scared he'd see the light. I didn't even want to move because the window was opened and I feared that he'd hear any movement I made. I wanted him to assume I was just no longer in the bedroom. I waited enough time. It had to be a solid 5 minutes of just sitting there. I highly doubted that man outside could still be there. I finally mustered up the courage to get up and look out the window. I felt a little part of me die inside when I saw he was still down there, looking up at my window. Instead of running away from the window again, I tried to be brave and said down to him, "What do you want?" I then noticed his shoulders started to go up and down as if he were laughing really hard, but he didn't make any kind of audible laughing sounds at first, till I heard a slight whistling sound.
See where you goofed up there. It's calling out to bro. That's where you goofed up here. Why in the world would you make? Why in the world would you make it known that you're there? Come on, dog. Raps. GG's. See, you understand that it can't be no black man. Hey, I just said it can't be no black man. Cause a black man wouldn't just be like, hey yo, bro, what are you doing, man? Nah, bro. You gotta get the Mystery Mouse Cthulhu at that. You gotta get the Mystery Mouse Cthulhu at that.
Coming from him. It seemed like he was laughing so hard that he was wheezing. I asked him to please go away, then walked away from the window again. I went back to my bed. I was scared to call the police for some reason. I left my room and sat at the top of the stairway listening. The back door was being pushed. He was trying to get into the house.
You want to be an investigator?
I ran back to my room to hide
huh?
again. I was 14. I didn't know what else to do. Eventually, I heard the front door's doorknob being fiddled with, and the man trying to push the front door open as well. He gave up quickly, thank God. I closed my bedroom window and curtains. If our doors weren't locked, I could have been killed easily. I was skinny and weak when I was 14, and definitely not a fighter. I didn't leave my room again that night until my mom got home around 9. I told her what happened, and her...
My bad. I didn't know the age. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I didn't know the age. So since it is 14, you could have, come on, bro. You could have still gotten the Mystery Mouse Cthulhu. You could have still gotten the Mystery Mouse Cthulhu. I mean, it's your house. Yes, it don't matter how old you are. It's your house when you need to use the Mystery Mouse Cthulhu because Jim Joe John want to sit up on some other people's porches. What are you doing? Like, come on, man.
Her reaction was
next
angry
video.
at me for not calling 911, and in hindsight, that was very stupid of me. One of the many things I did, or rather didn't do at a young age, that I question greatly.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't call anybody, man. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know why you didn't call anybody. Get this stupid ass out of here, man. Come on, dog. Story 3. Victor Foyle.
This was the story of how I almost died as a young kid, home alone, and possibly the most intense night of my life with way too much going on. We're a family of 5. I was 10 at the time. My older brother was 14, my little sister was 5. It was a Friday night. My brother was out with his friends causing trouble, clearly, because a dreaded phone call came to my parents. All I remember was I was in my room playing a Star Wars video game when I heard my mom start freaking out crying. I got really scared and hurried to see what was wrong. My mom was on the phone with the hospital, calling to inform my parents that my brother had gotten hit by a car. Obviously, we were all shaken and really scared.
Huh?
My brother's leg was broken, but I don't know what else was said on the phone. All I know is my parents hurried to get their coats on and got my little sister from her room and asked me if I was okay to stay home alone. I said yes, and they hurried out to the car and left. I was of course really worried for my brother, but
Why didn't you go? Hello? It's your brother and they asked you to stay home if you wanted to stay home. Huh? See, now, and you agreed to it? See, now, whatever happens, it just happens. Now, whatever happens, it just happens, man.
GG's. To the hospital and seem in any kind of bad condition. I don't think my parents wanted me or my sister to either, but they didn't want to leave my 5-year-old sister home without them. It's worth mentioning my brother recovered just fine, as his injury is no longer relevant to the story, other than it being the reason why I was left home alone on a Friday night. Before my dad left, he was trying to calm down my mom, telling her he was going to be okay. So seeing my dad like that made me feel better. I had a feeling my mom was just being overdramatic like any mom would be. I continued playing the Star Wars game for a couple more hours, when I heard the front door open. I had my bedroom door closed.
Bro, all this nigga care about is the Star Wars game.
It was easily past midnight and past my bedtime, so I turned off the TV and PlayStation and crawled into my bed with my Game Boy. I tried listening to hear my parents' voices, maybe hear if my brother was with them or just hear what they were saying, but I didn't hear anything. After a few minutes of not hearing them even come up the stairs, I had a feeling something was wrong. I went to my door and quietly opened it, then walked over to the ledge and banister that overlooked the living room. The lights were off.
The boys nowadays don't have ring cameras, man. Just check the ring camera. Just check the cameras, bro. You don't gotta move anywhere. You can see what kind of tomfoolery is going on outside, or in your living room, or outside your room, or wherever it is. You can see what's going on over there without even leaving. Without even leaving, bro. Come on, bro.
There were 3 tall people standing in my living room. They weren't my family. I was so petrified that I was frozen for a second.
What in the strangers is
before
going
I could
on
quietly
here?
walk back into my room
Bro,
and shut the
what
door.
in the strangers is going on here? What in the us is going on here? They look just like them, didn't they? Come on now, I heard this story
As
before.
quietly as I could.
I
in
heard
my
this story
trepidation.
before, man. I played these
But
games
it wasn't
before.
quiet enough, and I knew it. They had to have heard the door click shut, even if just slightly. I hurried to my closet door, opened it quietly, stepped inside, then shut the door. I had myself sitting behind a bunch of the boxes and bags of clothes that were stuffed in my closet. I was actually pretty covered from view. There was this short period that felt like forever that I was anticipating my bedroom door open, and it did. And at that moment, I knew I was going to die. I heard footsteps walk into the room.
Hey, man.
I couldn't tell how many people.
Say your
It may have
prayers
been
and eat
one, it may
vitamins
have
at
been
this
2.
point.
I heard the footsteps move to my bed. Then I heard my covers being played with. Then silence.
Covers.
Then more footsteps towards the closet door. Then silence for a few seconds. And then the closet door opened.
Nope.
My heart was in my throat by
Bro, what you gonna do at that point? Bro, if you don't got a weapon, then you're going to heaven. if you don't got a weapon, then you're going to heaven. I mean, that's all you can do. That's all you can say at this point. That's literally all you can say, bro. And you better smack him with a clothes hanger or something. Choke him out with a clothes hanger or something, bro.
All I did was sit quietly and hold my breath. The door was open for a really long time, but I didn't look up. I didn't move. It had to be a good 20 seconds of silence before the door closed again. Footsteps walked away from the door, then out of the room. I finally looked up, and I just realized, from where I was crouched down behind the bags and boxes, I may have been visible to that person. It wasn't until probably an hour that I heard my parents return. I ran downstairs to them. The front door was left ajar by the people who broke in, and they had stolen a number of valuables from our house. It was a night that just went from bad to worse for our family. My parents were in such a rush when they left for the hospital that they apparently didn't even lock the door. I was lucky to have not been killed or kidnapped. I look back now and really wonder
Okay,
if the
hold
person
on,
who
though.
opened the closet and just stood there for 20 seconds saw me hiding in there. Maybe he was just a guy that came to rob a house, not to kidnap or hurt a child. Or maybe he just didn't see me, and I just narrowly escaped death or injury.
Hold on, though. Wait a minute. Run that back.
Our house. It was a night that just went from bad to worse for our family. My parents were in such a rush when they left for the hospital that they apparently didn't even lock the door. I was lucky to have not been killed or kidnapped. I looked.
You can't be mad at me. You can't. Hold on, though. You can't be mad at them for not locking the door if they was in a rush because of your brother. Nigga, you're supposed to lock the door. Are you stupid? You're supposed to lock the door. So therefore, that's your fault. I'm sorry. I don't want to I don't want to put blame on nothing, on nobody. But you're the one that didn't lock the door. So that way you made it easier for them. See, it's about them phones and them video games, bro. These whippersnappers and their phone and their video games, they don't know how to do anything in the world. They don't even know how to do anything in life. Can't even lock a simple door. Hate to see it.
Back now.
All right, man. The
I
next
wonder
one
if the person
is
who opened the
Mr.
closet
Fitton,
and just stood there for 20 seconds. Saw
or
me
it's by
hiding
Mr.
there.
Fitton.
Maybe he was just a guy that came to rob a house, not to kidnap or hurt a child. Or maybe he just didn't see me, and I just narrowly escaped death or injury.
Okay, it's another ad. Got it. Now, right. Mr. Fitton is who the next person is. We got two more.
I was home alone for an entire week one time when I was still a teenager living with my parents, which was a rare occasion since my parents don't go out a lot. My mom's rich friend Patty invited my parents on a trip that she was paying for. I'm an only child, so I was left alone in the house. We lived in Newark, Ohio, which is in Licking County.
Newark, Ohio?
Yes,
Is this about Roman Outwood? Bro, is this about Roman Outwood, man? Newark, Ohio. That's the only person I know from Newark, Ohio. Ain't nothing else is in Newark. This might be about what's his face? Roman Outwood.
County was actually called Licking County. My parents' old house
Licking
had woods
County?
in the
Why you want to
backyard
lick?
and was on some quiet road that only a few cars would pass per day usually. We had a huge deck in the backyard overlooking the woods and a decently large backyard. We even had a little fish pond and above-ground swimming pool. This was on a Thursday night. I remember because I had conversations with friends about plans for the weekend that day. This was in July of 2013. I was out on the deck smoking weed with my speaker playing music. That's about the time it started. I thought I heard a voice from out in the woods. I lowered the music and listened for a little bit. It didn't repeat, so I raised it back up. When the music was loud again, I heard a voice from out in the woods again. This time I turned the music off completely and listened for longer. There was a voice calling from the woods again, confirming I wasn't just hearing things. It was a male's voice, saying, "Hey, over here." It was kind of distant, but not too far. The woods were anywhere from 20 to 30 yards away from the deck, and that's where the voice was coming from. I didn't think in a million years it was someone.
And you want to go over there and see what's going on? If Jit over here whispering, "Yo, bro, come over here, man," in the woods. Not me.
Calling out for me, though. Rather, maybe just some kids playing manhunt or something. The voice called out again, "Hey, over here, we need help." This time I realized the voice was too deep to
Not for
be a
me, you
kid.
don't.
And when a voice yells out, "We need help," obviously that'll always be slightly concerning. I was getting a little bit uncomfortable now, because now I was questioning if these yells were directed at me. Now I heard the voice yell, "Straight in front of you, please come help us." And the voice was coming from straight in front of me in the woods. Now I had a feeling this was directed at me. I reluctantly called back, "Who is that?" And they responded, "We just need help, we're stuck in the woods." I called back, "What does that mean?"
That's like a skinwalker or
And the voice
something.
replied back, "Just please come help, straight in front of
It's
you."
not real.
I got out from my seat, walked down the steps of the deck onto the grass, and
Not a
proceeded
real
towards
person,
the
bro.
woods. I called out, "I'm coming, where are you?" The
It's a
voice
demon.
replied instantly, "Right in front of you, I see you." I replied back, "Wait, are you alone or with someone?" There was no answer
Demon.
this time. I stopped in my tracks about halfway towards the woods. I had a bad feeling in my gut about this. I started walking backwards, back towards the house and the deck. I didn't even want to turn my back to the woods, because it took me that long to realize there was something very suspicious about this situation. I made it back to the deck, and the voice didn't say anything else. If they truly saw me and this was real, they would have said something like, "Where are you going?" at the very least. They knew I was onto the situation, but who even knows how many people were in there? Could have been one, could have been three. All I know is getting stuck in the woods makes absolutely no sense, especially if he or they were able to literally see me. Like what? Did their shirt get caught on a branch? I went inside the house and locked all the doors just to be safe. I chilled in my living room for a bit, still high, and I think that's why.
This is the guy who knows ball. This right here is a guy who won't die first, you know? He's not a person who would die first. See, he's a smart guy, man. That guy right there is a guy. That man right there is a guy, bro, because he's not gonna go check out. He's not gonna check it out. See, he still went too far, calling out to it, and he don't know where it came from. Like he couldn't see anything. That's still rule number none, or rule number none. Rule number one. Why would you call out to it? It's obviously a demon. It's obviously a demon, bro. So, but he is a smart man for not even going in the woods, stopping right in his tracks and heading up on out of there and locking the door. And yeah, what a guy. What a guy, man. See, he knows ball.
I was more
He knows
trusting at
ball,
first because of how high and relaxed I was. Then, though, I heard the voice again from outside, closer now, definitely in the backyard and not the woods anymore. I heard splashing of water. It could have been the pool or the pond. I hurried to the window to see. I didn't see anyone at first, but then the voice called, "I see you," with a laugh.
Nope, no you don't.
I noticed him. It was one guy, at least one guy visible. He was hidden behind the pool on the other side, and I could only see his head. It was just too dark to make out anything besides his dark, medium-length hair. I closed the blinds and tried to ignore it. Maybe he'd lose interest if he saw I wasn't entertaining him. He was probably a sick, deranged person who enjoyed messing with people, so I didn't want to give him
the Ghostbusters.
But my breaking point was when there was a horrible, aggressive banging on the window where I had just closed the blinds, and on the other side, the guy was screaming help. I screamed at the top of my lungs to "Fuck off, you freak, the police are coming."
Yeah, you gotta go help yourself, buddy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. What am I supposed to do? I can't do nothing for you, buddy. I can't do nothing for you. If I looked out there and I don't see nothing but somebody still... Nope. I don't... Nope. The blinds is right here. And I don't see a thing.
I screamed it over and over, trying to make myself sound crazier than him. I heard him start to laugh on the other side of the glass. His laughing started to fade away as I assume he walked away. I sat back down on the couch, trembling, shaking, out of breath. I sat there for a while, and it seemed like the guy had really given up. I still got a good night's sleep that night because weed helps me sleep. I wonder if I would have handled that situation any differently if I wasn't high.
Hey, it could have been high though. I ain't gonna hold you, man. The guy could have been yay. You know what I'm saying? Through the clouds. So it probably wasn't nothing. It was probably all in his head. But yeah, bro. I don't get why these people don't call nobody. That's my question. Why don't none of these people call anybody? I just don't understand.
The situation
I just don't
made me
understand.
more paranoid about who I opened my door to.
Last one is called Anonymous, man. And what do you know? We had another stupid ad. Come on. Anonymous is the next one, bro. It's our last story of the video.
I'm 23
Talk to me,
years
Anonymous.
old, and I live at home with my parents still. One day they were both not home, and I was outside playing basketball in the front yard. At some point while I was playing, I looked up at one of our upstairs windows and saw a woman standing there. Not my mom, not my sister. It was a random woman. I guess when she saw me looking at her, she dipped away from the window. When I went inside and upstairs to check the lounge room, she wasn't anywhere. I checked every single room I could, every bedroom, the bathroom, every closet. Then I checked the downstairs, which included the living room, kitchen, dining room, one bedroom, and more closets. Finally, I checked the basement, and I highly doubted she could be down there. It's a small basement with a couple couches, a bar, and 2 closets. There weren't many places for someone to hide, but when I opened the second closet door, I was incredibly scared, as I didn't know of any other places someone could be hiding in the house. This was the last unchecked spot that I could think of. I yanked the door open as if I were ripping off a band-aid, and like I did with the closet before this one, I right away pushed myself into the closet just in case that woman was in there and I'd have the jump on her. But all I pushed myself into was a bunch of coats and coat hangers. I was so confused. I wasn't going to question my sanity though. I definitely saw that woman and I knew it. It wasn't the kind of thing you would just so vividly imagine. I went back to the middle floor and screamed very loud that whoever was in the house needs to get the F out. I actually screamed so loud that our next door neighbor came over and asked if I was okay. I told him that I literally just saw a woman at our upstairs window watching me play basketball. He came in and helped me search again. When we couldn't find her, I was left to assume that she snuck out through the back door, which I did unlock after all when I went.
Well, it seems like you're dealing with a phase rug type of ghost. It sounds like you're dealing with a ghost here, or a paranormal, or like something in the paranormal, bro. That's really what it seems like. I don't think it was a person. I think it was a ghost or something to do with the paranormal. Normal. So what you need to call? You can't call the cops because what the cops gonna do? The cops can't do nothing to no ghosts. What you gotta call is the Ghostbusters. That's what you gotta call, man. You gotta call the Ghostbusters. I don't know why this keeps breaking up, but you gotta call the Ghostbusters. That's for one. You gotta call with the Ghostbusters, and if that doesn't work, call the Sam McCoby or FaZe Rug. That's all I got, bro. Either call FaZe Rug or Sam and Colby, or maybe both, or the Ghostbusters. And if neither one of those work, call a priest. And if the priest don't work, get up on out of there. That's all I gotta call. That's all I gotta tell you, man. There ain't nothing else really you could do.
Basketball from the yard. So my neighbor left. I locked all the doors.
Bro,
called my
hold
parents.
on, pause it, bro. I didn't know what that was. That was my own shadow, bro. That was my own shadow. No. I swear to you, bro. I didn't know what that was. I seen that in the corner of my eye, bro. But that's my own shadow.
Told them the crazy story, and they weren't too thrilled. But they asked me to make sure nothing was stolen. I did just that, and luckily it seemed anything that was worth something was still in place. So now fast forward to that night. I went to sleep after checking the house one more time just for peace of mind. It was hard to fall asleep though. My mind was racing for obvious reasons. Most people can't relate to seeing a stranger at their window inside of their house. But my restlessness helped me out in this situation, and here's why. I was finally starting to drift away slightly. Then I heard some noises from the other side of me. I had the fan on above me, so the room wasn't dead silent, and that's why I didn't immediately turn to my other side at the first sound I heard. But the sound started to sound human-like. I turned to my other side, and there she was, getting out from under my bed. She stood up tall above the bed, and I screamed so loud, louder than earlier before. I jumped out of my bed and tackled her to the floor and had my hand around her throat, asking her who she was.
Yo.
My door.
Hey. Freaky ghost, huh? Freaky ghost, man. Talking about somebody grabbed her around the throat. Yo, you trying to get rid of the ghost or you trying to the ghost? Hey. Can't yuck your yum, man. Can't yuck your yum.
Bell rang. My name.
I can't yuck your yum, man.
I picked the tall, dirty-looking woman up off the floor and dragged her to the front door with me as she struggled and scratched at me. I still have 2 scars on my right arm from her claws. I opened my front door to my neighbor again, and he let himself in and helped me restrain the woman. This was when I called the police. The whole time we waited for the police, the woman was screaming and cursing at my neighbor and I, threatening us too. The best way to put it, she looked and acted like a meth head currently suffering from withdrawals. When the police arrived, one of the officers knew exactly who the woman was. They had dealt with her multiple times before. Her name was conveniently Karen. It was satisfying to watch her be brought into the back of the police car. I let my neighbor know how grateful I was for him coming so quickly to help. And that night, my mind continued to race. But instead of being completely freaked out, which I still was a little, I felt this overwhelming feeling of satisfaction. And I can't fully explain why.
Hey, that was actually a good one. So it was actually a legit person. It wasn't no paranormal person, bro. You don't need FaZe Rug what's his name? Sam McCoby. You don't need FaZe Rug or Sam McCoby to do an investigation on, I guess. So, hey, I'm glad they got her out of there. But anyways, hopefully what I'm doing here works and it has no difference. The video will come out and the video has no difference between the two. So hopefully that works. But yeah, man, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and tell what I should react to my next video. I'm sorry for not doing a lot of spooky, scary videos. Just because I ain't gonna lie, bro, they don't get that much traction anymore. They used to back in the day. like a couple years ago, that you did used to get a lot of traction on my channel, but they don't get traction no more. So I don't do them that much. I don't do, YouTube is a thing where at the end of the day, I got to do what people will watch. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what people will watch. So that's why I haven't done one. But since it is Halloween tonight, I had to do one. I had to do one. Shout out, the video will be in the description, man. Shout out to Mr. Nightmare. 5 disturbing true Home Alone stories. And I'm glad I'm not home alone. But if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and tell me what I should react to. For the last 2 months, there should be, again, on Saturday, which is tomorrow, Saturday night's main event will be, what do you want? Anyway, Saturday night's main event will be on TikTok, and then Survivor Series will be on YouTube, and the last Saturday night's main event of the year, which is John Cena's retirement tour, will be on YouTube as well. But yeah, man, thank you for watching. Like button, subscribe button, bell notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Let me get this stupid cat out of here. See y'all in the next one, bro. Thank you for watching.